Now in their second season, Leadership of the Leaf with more cigar knowledge and more leadership insights. Two great leaders smoking great cigars. Here's our host, Austin and Dice. Grab a drink and jump in with a cut and a light.
And welcome everybody to another episode of Leadership of the Leaf. My name's Austin.
Well, hello, Austin. I am Dice.
And Dice, what are you smoking this evening?
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, you are most welcome, my friend.
Obrigado. From the American Viking?
American Viking, yeah.
Yes. Which you have been lovely to share with me. This Nicaraguan Puro.
Yes.
I'm looking forward, and I am ready to enjoy my thank you cigar.
You are most welcome, my friend. And just to, commemorate the moment, if you will, I'm smoking the exact same thing.
Wait a minute.
But
we're smoking the same cigar on air?
100%. This is the second time this season that we've done this.
Whoa. Wow.
Well, it's like we're coordinating or something. But I gotta know, what Hennessy are you pairing this with? I ain't even asking if you're pairing it with anything else. You did a beer and you bitched like the entire episode.
True, that is. You got me on that one. Very special old pale. Very superior old pale.
Oh, you messing up something with Hennessy?
They're universal, sir.
Okay.
Well, VS stands for very special. VSOP, which is the next level up. Very special old pale or superior. But
sure,
what everyone is more concerned about, because everyone knows I drink Hennessy. What are you drinking?
I am drinking Esprit de Cru Crystal Rum. It is a clear rum. It's very smooth, very delicious, and I love it.
I'm just going to say, I reached out to them, and they are willing to do some special things just for us to order it online.
Oh, yes. I am so excited about that because I do not live near them anymore, and it's hard for me to get them, their bottles, so I will be ordering them online.
And I actually will be ordering one myself, just because everything about it looks cool. You talk very highly of them. They have responded to my messages, and I appreciate them.
Yes. I all those guys down there. Patrick is awesome. He's one of the master distillers, it's like, whatever the distiller version of for rum is, master blender for rum. He gets to taste. Yeah, sure. He gets to taste all right. He's an awesome guy. If you guys are ever in Northwest Florida, please go check out Rollins Distillery in Gulf Breeze, Florida. It's Rollins. It's right across from the Gulf Breeze Zoo, and go check it out. Those guys are awesome. They'll tell you all about their stuff and let you try some of their wonderful rum. I also have some of their vodka and whiskey at my house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I will be pulling those out eventually. If they made a tequila, I'd be pulling out for Cinco de Mayo since that's coming up. They didn't make it a tequila.
You know what I'm going to drink for Cinco de Mayo? You have any idea?
Hennessy. Hennessy margarita.
Boom!
Come on now. Come on!
That will be
too
posted.
Easy.
It
too
will
easy.
Be posted. Cinco de Mayo.
Too
Hennessy,
easy.
Henny margarita.
You want to know what I'm going to be drinking?
I'm hoping it's tequila.
It is 100% going to be tequila.
Pepe Lopez?
But fuck you. For those of you that don't know, Dice here gave me a bottle. We were in our younger years, and it was about 3/4 of a bottle of Pepe Lopez. He warned me that it was the worst tequila he's ever drank. Cinco de Mayo rolled around, and all I had was Pepe Lopez. So I got drunk off of Pepe Lopez and had to work the next day because it was like a Wednesday, Cinco de Mayo. And let's just say it was not a fun day at work.
Oh man, you drunk?
Anyways, I did.
All right.
100%.
Okay.
All right, so Dice,
Yes.
what are we talking about today? Because I could sit here and ramble on and talk shit to you all night, but I'm sure our listeners want to know what we are talking about that's of interest to them.
All right. Well, our leadership portion, which will be after the break, we're going to talk about performance punishment.
Performance punishment.
Man, I really like that topic.
I'm so excited for that topic, and I hope people don't think. I'm sure people are thinking the opposite of what we're actually going to be talking about.
Yes. And I believe we may have fit that category a few. But for our cigar topic, we will be discussing the all-illuminating cigar lighters.
Ooh,
We're going to talk all about different cigar lighters. There's so much on the market. Is it cigar garbage or is it cigarific?
Did you just make really terrible puns?
Why, yes. Fight me.
Let's go. Well, you can't even reach this high.
Oh, that's fair enough.
All right, so cigar lighters. So what are we talking about? We talk about tabletop? We talk about personal use?
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both. All right.
Well, I saw a tabletop lighter that I just fell in love with, and I purchased it. Still love it. Doesn't get much use because it's a tabletop lighter. Tabletop lighters are a little large, more handy, a little bigger.
Yeah, heavier. They're made for setting on the table and letting everybody use them.
Yes. Well,
like you set it on the tabletop and let everybody use a lighter on the tabletop.
I got the Alec Bradley burner. And it looks like something from a science lab where you
like
have
a Bunsen burner.
Yeah, that's how it reminds
You're
me
welcome.
of. It even has like a little knob to turn the flame up or down or whatever.
I've used that at your house.
Yes. Did you like it?
I did.
Did you? Okay.
I did.
I like it for the big cigars. I don't care too much for the little cigars because I don't know. Maybe I hold it too close to the flame. I don't know.
I would say I would agree with you if you're lighting like I don't know. Let's just say call it an asylum, right?
Yeah, 6x60.
6x60 or up. It works out pretty well. If you're lighting, a Lancero or a Lonsdale, something like that, that doesn't work too well because you're going to burn like a good chunk of your tip off because it's hard to tell where you're holding the flame, how close, because of how big that flame is.
Yeah. I've seen other tabletops where it's built-in ashtrays. I've seen like an antique one. Tobacco Leaf, I don't know if he was there when he had that big one that had a big lever arm that came down to light what it looks like to be a match. You probably don't remember
that one.
Nope. Either way, it was big and fancy, look antique-ish. Push buttons, I've seen those.
Yeah.
But the main thing with the tabletop lighters, like you were saying earlier, is for the table. Mainly, if you're going to have a lot of people around, I wouldn't necessarily have it handy for personal use.
My thing with tabletop lighters is like if you have a dedicated smoking space, like let's just say you have a smoking room in your house, right? Like whether that's your basement, your attic, your loft, whatever, you have a garage that's set up like a man cave or whatever you want to call it. And you just have that tabletop lighter setting there and it just always stays there. Fine. I'm good with that. That's great. But like me, I have to come out on my back patio, so I got to bring everything in, bring everything out. I don't really care for a tabletop lighter. I don't own a tabletop lighter. I just use small personal lighters, and it makes it a lot easier for me to get everything in and out.
Yeah. I have like a little shed that I use as a smokies, and I leave the tabletop lighter out in the shed, so I can definitely understand and relate where you're coming from. I don't know. It takes a lot of a lot of the butane, and it lasts forever. I think I filled it once.
That's always nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, these personal lighters, they don't hold a whole lot of butane. You gotta fill them up every once in a while. I've gone through a whole little can of butane. I'm on my second can of butane, and still going strong. But still, if I had a tabletop lighter, I'd be a lot happier. I think if I had a dedicated space to just smoke.
So, on average, majority of the people that I would think that has an area for them to smoke, they have 1, maybe 2 tabletop lighters, maybe. Right? How many
2 tabletop lighters? I feel like I've made it. I've made it in life.
I see some that like Calibra has one I really like, but I'm not spending that money on that.
We're talking about the cube.
Yeah, looks like a dice. Makes sense, right? Looks like a dice.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Weird.
How many personal lighters do you own? Do you know?
Okay. My question is: are we talking about jet lighters? We're talking about soft flame.
Let's go with. Well, we're going to talk about soft flame, but right now I'm referring to jet lighters, torches.
1, 2, 3, 4. At least 4 or 5.
Right, that you know of.
Yeah, those are the ones that I could think of that I probably use the most.
If you're anything like me, you have maybe one in a car somewhere, one in a drawer in the house somewhere that you don't even keep count of anymore.
I have like 3 in a drawer. I bring 2 out here to smoke because I got one. I got one for touch ups, right? I got a little 2 flame lighter for touch ups and toasting, and then I got my big old 4 flame lighter to just really get it.
What's the highest number of jets that you have seen?
Personally seen, I think I've only ever seen 4, maybe 5.
I've seen 5. Now I'm pretty confident they can go up higher, but I have personally seen 5. I think it was a Rocky Patel lighter that has 5 jets.
Sounds like something very Rocky Patel.
Could you imagine lighting something with 5 jets? It seems it would just burn it like almost instantly.
I would only use that on Asylum cigars.
I'll use it for touch-ups.
Yeah. But you touch up the first 6 inches of your cigar? All right.
So jet lighters, as we know, it can go up from 1 flame, which I like using the 1 flame, the single flame, for touch-ups. You like using a double?
I have a single flame, and it works well, and I enjoy it. But my problem is the tank on the single flame is so stinking small that I feel like I'm constantly refilling it. So I go with the double flame because the tank's a little bit bigger and it seems to last a lot longer. Maybe it's just a perception thing, but that's just me. But I love single flames for touch-ups. They're nice. They're easy.
Since you mentioned the word refill, and the reason why I'm gonna let you do the talking on it because you actually helped me out when I was like getting frustrated with my lighter. Well, what would you say would be the best and proper way to refill your jet lighter, or actually any lighter that's going to be taking butane? Because my tabletop, I did the same thing.
All right, so the first things you want to do is you want to turn that flame all the way down. That's first and foremost. Second thing, you're gonna flip that thing upside down to where the fill valve is sticking up, and you're gonna purge all of the air out of there. So you're gonna stick a hollow tip in there and purge all of that air out of your lighter to where you can't get any more air out of there. Why? Because if you try to fill up air and you try to fill up butane in the same area, well, guess what? You just got air in your butane and your lighter doesn't like that. So purge all the air out. Then you're going to take your butane and you're going to flip it upside down. You're going to stick it and shove it on the fill valve for about 3 to 4 seconds and check your fuel level. If it needs more, do it, shove it on there again. You don't want to hold it on there too long because you can over pressurize your tank, and that's not good for, anybody, especially if you burst the tank. Once you got it to the right level, You're gonna purge the air out again until you get a nice puff of butane. You'll see it and you'll feel it. Trust me. And then you turn your flame back up to the correct level that you want it at, and you click it until it lights, and you're good to go.
Now, when I did that tabletop lighter, it got cold.
Yeah.
So,
you want to try to avoid that. That's why you only do it for about 3 to 4 seconds. Check your level, and then do it another 3 or 4 seconds and check your level. If you have to purge air in between those, that's okay. Especially if you're filling it up, big lighter up like a tabletop, you might have to purge in the middle of this.
Yeah. So once that happened, I just set it down, let it get room temperature, and then I went at it again.
Yeah, that's the right thing to do.
Okay. So the next, no. Have you the jet flame? Have you seen the jet flame lighter where the jets kind of crisscross?
Crisscross applesauce?
Crisscross applesauce? That was that the politically correct way to say Indian style?
Yes. I think I've seen it.
And we're moving on.
I think I've seen it in a magazine, but I don't think I've seen it in person.
I have not seen it in person, and I'm just curious. Like, I don't know.
It's
I
just
don't know
a
if I wanna
fancy
try that.
design of a lighter. Yeah. That's all it is. To me, there's nothing special about it. It's just, okay, I got a flame angle one way, I got a flame angle the other way. They come together, they shoot up into a single big flame. All right, cool. Looks really cool. It's still just a 2-flame lighter.
Seen the jet flames with the crook in their head, like it's angled or diagonal just a little bit.
Yeah.
Made for pipes. Jet lighters. I have one that has a hole punch.
Yeah, I do too.
I adore. Fucking adore it.
That's my go-to travel one because I have a punch cutter at the bottom and then a dual flame at the top, and it works wonders. It's all in one. The jet flames. I've smoked a little bit of pipe tobacco. I've smoked pipes. I don't like using jet flames on my pipes because they tend to burn. The pipe tobacco, if it gets bitter, it's not like cigar tobacco where it could be made to be bitter. You're getting flavor notes. If your pipe tobacco is bitter, you're heating it up too much. 1, 2, you could damage the side of your pipe by using a jet flame. That's why most people have, if you look at most pipe lighters, they're angled soft flames.
So that's an indication for soft flames there. And the most common soft flame is Bic. Like what, the dollar store lighters, stuff like that?
Yo, hey, don't knock them. Those things last forever.
You'll lose it before you run out of fuel.
100%, or it gets broken.
Oh yeah.
I think talking soft flames, I at least have like 10 of those scattered throughout my garage and drawers and all this other stuff. You never know. Like, oh, I gotta light a candle. Bloop, there it is.
I don't really use soft flame much for my cigars. The softest flame I use is my tabletop because it's like a jet soft flame thing. I don't know what you would call it, but that's probably the most soft flame I use.
I've used a soft flame to light a cigar in its entirety. I've used matches to light a cigar in its entirety.
Yes.
I've used a cedar spill to light a cigar in its entirety. Let me be honest. I don't notice a damn bit of difference. Except for I feel fancy when I use a cedar spill. And it looks really, I look really badass. Fancy like Applebee's, maybe. The soft flame, the soft flame just took forever, to be perfectly honest. Because I'm inhaling a cigar, and I inhaled the entirety of a soft flame. And I had to like keep going around and around and around to make sure I got all my tobacco lit. And it took forever to get a soft flame to go. Matches, I think I went through like 15 of those things. Because I had to wait for the sulfur to run out.
Yeah.
And then inhale, so I didn't get the sulfur in my cigar. Oh, it just took forever.
Yeah, I got, I call them cigar matches. They actually have quite a bit of the wood. They're longer than normal matches.
Yeah. I know what I'm talking about. I call those candle matches. Because they go down in a candle jar really well.
Propane. Have you used a propane torch?
brick and mortar, they had a propane torch. It was okay. I mean, I didn't really notice too much of a difference in taste and flavor or anything like that, but it wasn't bad. It just, no, I'd rather use butane if I'm going to pay for fuel. I'd rather use the cheaper butane than now more expensive propane.
Well, propane, it just makes me think of like an action hero movie guy. Like, oh, I'm gonna light my cigar with this, and then he throws it at the bad guy and it blows up or something.
Propane accessories.
Oh, are you in your first third?
I'm well in my first third.
Yeah, we got to talk. Yeah.
We've been chit-chatting and enjoying this whole thing.
So Obergrad is great, man.
I'm telling you, it's one of my favorites. Chocolate, earth, and a hint of spice. I don't want to say black pepper. I'm thinking baking spice.
Wow, this is good. This is good because this is what we always talk about. Now you got baking spice, I got earthy notes, and I'm going with nuts.
Maybe it could be. Now this is we talked about this before. The pairings matter, right?
Yeah.
You have a more floral, maybe a little bit earthy cognac. I'm drinking a clear crystal rum distilled from sugarcane molasses.
Yeah, so you're probably pulling that out more.
Exactly.
Got it. But that's why I love it. I mean, we're smoking the exact same thing, drinking different things, of course.
Same thing.
So
these came out of the same box, ladies and gentlemen. These came out of the same exact box. Trust me, I know.
Okay, we hit up the top three, I would say, most commonly used type lighters.
Yep.
Now, there's a few others that I'm like, WTF. And then I got to looking at them, and I'm like, okay, I get it. The first one is a plasma lighter.
I feel like those are for show. In magazines or online, but I feel like they're mostly for show. Why am I going to pay for a plasma? Now, that being said, if I can, I don't know. I don't know. It just seems like a lot of show.
To me, because the plasma lighter kind of looks like a miniature taser. Like there's two little prongs and the plasma shoots between the two bars and it causes fire. But I just don't see you having the control to like 6x60. Could you see you lighting a 6x60 by trying to get this little plasma bar line?
No,
light up the whole, yeah.
No,
so
the argument.
To me, it doesn't seem practical.
So they're nice because they have a rechargeable battery, right?
Yeah.
So that's nice. You could take them online, or you could take them on airplanes and stuff like that, where you can't take butane lighters on airplanes. And that's all well and good, but I just don't. I feel like trying to light something is going to be difficult.
Maybe light a cedar spill with it and then move from there. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I don't know. But it's the same thing with the next one, right? So the electric. I feel like every time I see an electric one or somebody using one. Now, I saw one recently that I was like, I'd be willing to try that. But I feel like the old cigarette lighters in your car where you push it in and it pops out. It's just exactly what the electric lighter basically is.
What you're describing was actually made for cigars.
Was it really?
Yes.
I always called it a cigarette lighter.
So everyone calls it that because cigarettes kind of moved to the mainstream when cigars wasn't fancy anymore. It's all about smoking the cigarettes.
All right then. Yeah, I just don't see again. You have the small little bar. The electric lighters. You have a little bit. Usually, it's like a coil that heats up.
Yeah, like a stovetop.
Yeah, those I would be willing to try because I want to try to travel with those, like on a commercial airliner or something.
Yes,
I feel like they'd be kind of cool to try and just see what happens with it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to try it just for the travel aspect of it. But I think that's about it. I feel like that's the end of the gimmick for me.
I was going through TSA in Vegas, and you can see like a lot of the crap people like throw to the side. Like you can't take water bottles and all that stuff. I seen like a Calibre, like a fancy, like maybe it wasn't Calibre, but whatever. It was a fancy fucking looking lighter, and I was like, oh, that's gotta suck. That's gotta suck.
Yeah,
Someone had to give that up or miss their flight.
Oof.
Wasn't me. It wasn't me.
I got to do a pat down every single time I go. Like I get ready to leave my car at the airport or get dropped off. I have to do a pat down before I even get in the car because I'm like, lighter. Okay, do I have a lighter on me? No. All right. Do I have a knife on me? Yeah. Oh shit. Yes, I got a knife on me. All right, I got to put that down. Because every single time I've had to go back up to the check-in, the travel counter, and I'm like, hey, I have a knife on me. I was like, I need to put it in my check bag. They're like, we already sent your bag down. I'm like, could you call it back? And it's so embarrassing to sit there and ask them to call your bag back so you can stick a knife in there really quickly and then give it back to them. And they're like,
now you're overweight.
Really? Yeah, really? You can't just leave that in your car? And I'm like, dude, I forgot. I'm sorry.
I took an Uber.
Yeah. Oh, so bad.
Oh my goodness! I felt so bad for whoever it was, but
yeah,
I'm pretty sure
to try to go there.
TSA's got a nice lighter now.
I'll say I try to go there and be like, "Yo, can I get that? Like, I just want it, and I'll just leave. I'll give you like $20 for it." Meanwhile, it's a $60 lighter.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah. Hey, I don't even.
It didn't look like a $60 lighter. I'm just saying it looked pretty fancy.
Oof, that's bad.
Feel bad for whoever it was. Really.
Fuck them. So speaking of travel, so a lot of times what a lot of people send the Bic lighters for their travel. Why? Yeah. Because you can bring Bic lighters on on airplanes.
Can you? I did not know that. I didn't even try.
Yeah, no, because I always look on TSA what I can do. Now, I've if I'm traveling in a car or whatever, obviously, I'm bringing, I'll probably bring my 2 lighters, a dual flame and the quad flame. Done. I bring the minimum amount I need. I stick it in my travel humidor. I put it in my backpack. Boom. I take a road trip. I'm good to go.
So you just kind of answered the next question. What would you most commonly use? What's your go-to lighter?
I got a Calibre Deep V. If I could only pack for one, I got a Calibre Deep V cutter that I take everywhere. And I got a dual flame lighter that has a bullet punch on the back end that I would take if I could only take one. Boom. Those are my 2 things. Done. I'm out the door.
I have a Rocky Patel single action dual flame. It has like a little window so you can see the amount of butane in it, and it has a punch in the bottom.
Yeah, and mine's Herrera Esteli.
Picked it up. It's out of fuel. Perfect.
Yeah, mine's a little Herrera Esteli that I got. That's it's got all scratched up because it's been in my pockets and in my bags and stuff like that. But this thing works great. I love it. Yeah. For a free lighter that I got out of like a box purchase, I'm not upset about it.
Perfect.
I'm not upset about it. So that's it. That's cigar lighters. And basically in a kind of a nutshell, we kind of went a little bit quick through that. But
not really.
Yeah. Felt like we did.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the difference between tabletop, personal use, jet, and soft flame. How many of the jets we can have. Talked about the propane, the plasma, electric, travel, and then what we use. I'm curious.
Any of the listeners, do you use a plasma lighter? Anybody use a plasma?
You do,
tag me in that piece.
Yeah, let us know because I really, really want to know if somebody uses a plasma lighter. If you do, let us know which one you want. I'm willing to buy one and use it on air to see if I like it.
Right. Well, you, not me. I'll watch you use it.
Yep, 100%. 100%. I will use it. But let us know. Tag us at Leadership of the Leaf on Instagram. There's a link to our blog in the description in our bio. Let us know. Tag us. Let us know. See what you guys use. We'd love to hear from y'all. Or send us a message. If you don't want to tag us, send us a message.
Yes, please do. Indeed, sir. Indubitably. Indeed.
Perfect. All right, we'll take a quick break. And when we get back, we'll talk about performance punishment.
And our second and final third.
Yes, and our second and final third.
Boom.
Don't forget, we need to follow the podcast so we know when new episodes drop.
All right. Hey, everyone. Thanks for listening to Leadership of the Leaf. I'm just letting you know, if you want to see what kind of cigars that myself, Dice,
and Austin,
what we're smoking on each episode, check out our Instagram on Leadership of the Leaf. All one word.
At Leadership of the Leaf. And please, leave us a comment. Send us a message with whatever questions or what you guys are smoking on. Maybe you guys have some suggestions for us that we'd love to give it a shot.
At Leadership of the Leaf on Instagram.
Hello, this is Kathy, better known name is Kat from A Case Expert Painting, and you are listening to the Leadership of Leaf hosted by Dice and Austin.
All right. Hey, welcome everyone. We just had a little break and now we're ready to get into some leadership. Topic.
But first, before we get into leadership, second, third.
Oh,
good, sir. Second, third.
Second. I'm still getting earthy and actually maybe a little cedar.
So I'm getting cedar as well. For me, yeah, I would say earth, cedar. There might be a hint of spice on the back end.
I really think my Hennessy is taking that spice away.
That's very possible.
Because yours is somewhat sweet and adding to it. And mine has like a nice little bite at the end.
Yeah.
That bottle's too full, sir.
I just opened it, asshole. I was showing you the bottle so you could see how cool it looked.
It is cool looking.
I'm gonna punch you in the mouth.
I mean, just I'm gonna show you where it's supposed to be.
All right. I finished a bottle of rum last night, so I had to open this one for tonight. Don't judge me on how full the bottle is. Judge me by how many bottles are drank.
Oh. Well, there's a stem sticking out there. I don't want to pull it. I don't want to mess up my cigar. I'll leave it.
Leadership topic. Performance punishment. Now, Dice.
Yes.
I gotta ask.
Okay.
When you do good at work, what do you get rewarded with?
Oftentimes, unfortunately, it's with more work.
What? You're telling me you do good work, hard work for a company, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna give you more work."
That's where I said we're probably gonna have some good topic conversations about that, because there's oftentimes, and unfortunately, you kind of had worked under me for a little bit, so I instill in my people that can do, make it happen kind of attitude. If you have that can do, make it happen attitude, no matter how big or how much work they put on your plate, you're going to finish your plate. Because I'm going to make it happen.
Yeah.
What happens is they just keep putting more and more on that fucking plate.
Yeah. So yeah, performance punishment is the negative consequence that high-performing individuals may face because of their exceptional productivity. This usually includes additional tasks or responsibilities, expected to work longer hours, or even subjected to additional scrutiny or criticism because you work too good. So obviously you're getting your work you're getting it done too quickly, so it must be shitty work, right? Can't be good work and you get it done. It has to be shitty work and you get it done that fast.
There's so many scenarios in here that we're going to have to intervene as we go through like little small segments. But I just hate it because we'll get into it.
I've seen memes about this, and one caught my eye recently. It was an article. I want to say it was by John C. Maxwell about performance punishment, and I was like, we got to talk about this because this is a thing. Oh boy, we got a topic here.
And you got to send me the meme if you can find it again.
If I find it, I'll send it to you. But performance punishment is sometimes a little bit more apprehensive. The alleged reward for pulling yet another rabbit out of the hat is a heightened expectation about your future performance, leading to even more work. Great reward, more work for the same pay.
Yeah, there's so many times like, okay, you did task A so well. Everyone applauds you. You go to task B, and they're like, oh, well, you did task A. You might as well do task B. You're right there. Come on, dude. Now, I'm not the only one working here.
Yeah. I know we've had this conversation before. A company usually can do more than double its amount of work if just more than 10% of the people would pull their weight.
Right. Normal humans, I say normal because there's some dirtbags out there. Normal humans want to be great. They have that drive. They want that drive for status. They need to be seen by others as capable, worthy, impactful. Like, I have the common sense and I can make things happen. You know, they have the fundamental human survival for their brain to have the feel-good chemicals when they have a job well done. They get like a status boost, like, oh, great job today. The brain functions and creates dopamine and serotonin, and it's like, oh, yay, inside your brain. In fact, the feeling is great. We work harder to get them again and again, and we could eventually like design to make us want to take care of our tribe and take care of our team. And like, you know what happened? I'm the LeBron James of this. Well, no, LeBron James is bad. I'm the Steph Curry of this team, and I made the final shot, and we won. We're going to the championship. That makes me feel so good that I pull the proverbial rabbit out of the hat just for the team. My dopamine and serotonin is like, boom, baby, right in my head.
Yeah. You know what the problem with that is?
What's that, sir?
One, you got to work harder and longer to continue getting those levels because you get used to that dopamine and serotonin levels, and you keep chasing a bigger and bigger high. This is why celebrities, right? Yeah. There's that celebrity status. You get the thundering applause of a football stadium. And you're like, this is great. And then you're like, nope, now I want to go bigger. All right, you get the thundering applause of, somewhere, a big concert hall. Got to go bigger. Then you get like Madison Square Garden. Then you get these outdoor concerts where people are just chanting your name, and it's all wonderful. And then you keep chasing that high, bigger and bigger high, but it forces you to work more and more and longer and harder.
Yes. And what happens is people tend to be like, oh, this guy is great. He can take care of everything. I'll just let him do it and sit with my hands down.
Yep. Yeah. So while status rewards usually make us feel good, fairness threat triggers are even stronger because the brains evolved for our survival, right? We're geared towards the negative, right? Fire, hot. Yeah. Billy ate that berry. He died. That bad berry. Got it. I'm geared for the negative, right? Survival.
Yes.
All right. So it identifies and responds faster to threatening or negative situations more than pleasurable ones. For example, if you miss an invitation for a free meal, you might miss lunch. But if you miss a snake, you become lunch. right? Or to put this in the context of performance punishment, if we aren't in the spotlight, we risk missing a compliment. But if we aren't tasked equally, we risk burnout. Risk of avoiding and hiding from the boss and workloads. So, and that's the problem with performance punishment. You keep piling bosses and managers and team leaders and all these people. Hey, this guy, Billy, could do it. He does great work. I know he can do it. I'm just going to keep shoveling more onto this motherfucker's plate. Meanwhile, Sally, Joe, and Tim are over here yucking it up because they ain't got no work because you don't trust them to do work. Or you're not holding them accountable to do the work, so you just keep putting it on poor Billy over here.
Yeah, there's an example I'm going to share. But before I share that example, I need another shot.
Shot? That looks like looks like 3.
Don't judge me.
You judging me? I'm judging you.
That's only 2 fingers in that wider glass.
Yeah. 2 fingers in a coffee mug ain't the same thing as 2 fingers in a shot glass, motherfucker.
Damn, you got me. You got the tater. All right, here's an example. So let's see if I can follow through. Let's see if I can make this happen.
Ooh, I like to see this.
There's a major project due. It has a very fixed deadline. Like there's no budging. You stay at work a few extra hours only to take the project home to finish it. So you already work late and you take it home to finish it up. You get to work early just to polish it up to make it look good for the boss's boss. Your boss and team salute you at your success, and later at the staff meeting, singing your praise as you put on a fake smile because you're tired. You're just trying to gather your thoughts. All you can think about is hitting the pillow as soon as you get home. The next week, your boss is faced with another impossible deadline. Instantly, he walks to you and with total disregard of any of your plans for that evening or that weekend, he asks you to make it happen again because you did it the first time. You realize now you're the go-to person for that team. So your reward for making this happen is more work, more responsibility, more stress, longer hours, in addition to fewer pats on the back. Because it's what they expect from you from the beginning now because you made it the norm. You have that save the day kind of attitude. This, my friend, is a great example of performance punishment.
Yeah, 100%. So from my perspective as leaders and managers, we have to be cautious on if we're constantly going to somebody to say, hey, I need you to do this because I don't trust anybody else, you need to reevaluate it. You need to put that work on somebody else, especially if that person, and if you are that person that says, save the day, I'm the best motherfucker here, and you're feeling burnt out, 1, take vacation.
Please do.
2, set boundaries with your boss. Healthy boundaries are critical. So if you're sitting there saying, hey, boss, this is great. I just did that project for you. It's somebody else's turn. I have plans with my wife, girlfriend, significant other, whatever. We're going out of town this weekend. I've already put tickets out. They're non-refundable. And he says, I don't care. Boom. Nope. Can't do it. Put it on somebody else. I will not be doing this. And have to set that. You gotta be stern and set those boundaries. Because the minute you start letting them interfere with your personal life is the minute that they will they'll just assume that you're okay with it and that they have complete control over your life. They're going to guilt trip you with, why aren't you loyal to this company? Loyalty matters. This is how you get ahead in life. Aren't you afraid of hard work? No, the answer is obviously no. You worked hard. You already did the performance. But why are you the only one doing the performance when you have a whole team of motherfuckers that ain't doing shit?
Exactly. Only caveat to that is if you're new to the team, maybe you haven't proved your value or your worth. But even with that saying in mind, it still is unfair for you to take on that workload every single time. It's just make sure you have that transparency to make sure that everyone knows your value as part of that team.
Yeah, because if you're working late on a damn near impossible task, and your coworkers are enjoying a balanced work life, they come in at 9:01 after enjoying their cup of coffee in the morning, all nice, and this is great, and then head off to take care of their kids, whether imaginary or real or whatever, to soccer practice at like 5 o'clock or 4:59 at the end of each day. Meanwhile, you're coming in early and staying late just to keep up the mountain of work that your boss keeps piling on you. Because you're the top performer, you're the guy, you're the person, you're that motherfucker who can't be replaced. It's hard to feel empathy. You're gonna feel burnout. You're gonna sit there and your coworker's gonna be like, "Man, I can't believe they yelled at me for being 30 minutes late." You're like, "Bitch, what? Shut up! Shut the fuck up! You telling me you came in 30 minutes late and you got yelled at? Motherfucker, I'm here at 5 a.m. and I don't leave until 9 p.m. trying to catch up with this shit. What the fuck do you do all day?"
Yeah, that's one of very few times I really get upset. I mean, like upset. I may showcase that I'm upset, but I'm really not. But if you really want to upset me, you talk about me working late and your ass is at home all the time, and I'm the one working late, and then you're going to complain that you had to stay 30 minutes late one time after I've been stayed an hour after every day this week. You can fuck right off.
Yeah.
You're at home enjoying life while I'm still at work. Fuck you.
Yep. Nope. 100%. I've done it many times where people have gone home at the end of the day. Meanwhile, I'm still at work and I get the project done, and people are like coming the next day, and the boss is like, hey team, this was a great effort by each and every one of you. I'm so proud of you guys. This is great. And I go, hey, can I just take off? It's Friday. The project's done. Can I take off like 30 minutes early so I could just go home and kind of like reset myself? And they're like, you want to go home early? What makes you think you earned going home early? I'm sorry. The fuck did you just say to me?
Well, as a leader, that's one way you can properly reward your high performers. Yeah.
Give them their time back. One of my biggest pet peeves ever. If you work late on a project and your boss goes, I'll catch you up on the back end. I'm going to reward you on the back end, I promise. And then what happens on the back end? Another project comes due, and guess where your ass is?
Well, I'm still waiting for my up and comings from the first one.
Yeah. Nope. Try again. You got to do this one. And I promise I'll get you on the back end. I'll get you on the back end. I'll give you all this time off. You earned it. It's coming. I promise. Never comes.
What I hate, since we're talking about hate and this performance. So I'm a high performer. I do my thing. I work late. I make it happen. I make one small, minor mistake, and I get the business. But yet, fuck boy, Mr. I can't get right. He does it wrong every single time, and no one says anything to him. Like, oh, that's just Timmy. That's just Timmy being Timmy. Oh, Dice, what the hell? Your reports were shit. Your show notes. What the fuck, man?
Yeah. Usually it's I've always hated those calls into the office because it's like, hey, I think I made a mistake. And you've already caught it, and the boss comes in and is like, I need to talk to you. Fuck, is this about that report that I turned in that had a mistake? Yeah, come to see me in my office. Hey, your performance is slipping. What? I've been late. I've worked late every single day this week. I've come in early every single day this week. And meanwhile, these motherfuckers that you're fucking high praising are rolling in at goddamn 9 a.m. and you want to sit there and say that my performance is slipping? Fuck you.
Another reason that high performers may be subject to performance punishment is because they are held to higher standards than their peers. That can lead to feelings of unfair treatment and resentment as they feel they are being held to an unattainable level of excellence. And that is pretty much what we was just describing, because I fucking hate it. And so many times in my mind, because I'm not that person, but so many times I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do that quiet quitting thing. I'm going to fucking just do my job and get the fuck up out of here. But as we both know, it doesn't happen that way.
Can't. Your personality won't allow it.
No.
I've said this to somebody, and I was actually about to say this to one of my previous workers. Actually, two of them. They were the best that I had by far. Two of my top performance people. I'd go out of my way to do anything to help them get ahead. And I came up to them, and they made a mistake. They made a minor mistake, and it wasn't even like really their fault. It was their team's fault. It wasn't their fault. And they came up to me, and they apologized to me. And I looked at them, and I had what I wanted to say in my mind, and I was going to say, "Look, guys, I expect better of you." And I stopped myself, and I go, "Wait, nope, that's not fair." I said, "Look, guys, it's a team effort. I understand that you guys feel the need to take responsibility, and I applaud you for taking responsibility for this, but it's a team effort. So here's what I want to do. I want you guys to get all the team together, and I'm going to address the team. Don't want you guys to think that I'm singling you guys out, because I'm not. I'm addressing the entirety of the team, and then we're gonna get to the bottom of this." And that's exactly what I did. I addressed the team. I said, "Hey, we did something bad. This happened. Let's move on from it. We have good people. We have bad people. Bad people need to step it up. Good people, you guys keep doing what you're doing, and let me know if I can do anything better to help you guys out. Whether that's time off, awards, whatever I can do to make it beneficial for you." I couldn't give them the more money because I wasn't in that position, but I could give them their time back, and I can give them awards to help them make more money. And man, my first instinct was to go to my two top performers and just rip them up one side and down the other and tell them how much I expect of them and this, that, and the other. And I was like, wait a minute. I hated that when I was a performer. When I was like, I hate that shit. This is dumb. No. I had to fight my natural urge, because it is your natural urge. If they've set the standard for themselves as being top performers and they fall to meet that line, but they're still above your base standard performance, take a second and realize that they're still above your base standard. Just before you go yell at them, take a second and realize that they're still above your standard and they made a minor mistake, and they'll correct it without any say so from you.
Yes, I've witnessed that firsthand myself.
Yeah, high performers are usually more likely to experience performance punishment because they're seen as a valuable asset to the organization. So as a result, they're given additional tasks, responsibilities, in an effort to maximize their contributions. Hey, if you can do more, why not do more? However, this usually leads to feelings of a lack of work-life balance, burnout, and exhaustion.
I do know, because I was in Japan for a little bit, I do know that their work-life balance, their high performance,
that's shit.
Is somewhat part of their culture. So sometimes a culture can play a difference. There's been so many times where I had a Japanese coworker, and they actually felt like they let me down, or they let the organization down because they couldn't get a task performed. But it was like an impossible task. It was a week-long task, and it was like day 4, and it wasn't complete yet. And they felt like they let the whole world down, and they want to go jump off a building or something. And
right.
That's where you have to, like, whoa, wait, hey buddy, hold on, let's conversate. Let's have a talk about this and make sure we understand exactly where we're at. Show them that we are well above our actual timeline to meet the goal, just because it hasn't accomplished the whole task in its entirety yet. It's not the end of the world, buddy. Let's just keep moving forward. But that's their upbringing. That's part of their life, their culture. So sometimes the high performance, the punishment is done by the person themselves because of their cultural background.
Yeah, you got to be cautious. So if you see somebody and I call it, quicksand. Somebody gets and they make a mistake, right? And then they try even harder to correct that mistake, and they end up making another mistake. And then they try as hard as, even harder, and they make another mistake, and then they try even harder, and they keep making another mistake, and they make more and more and more and more and more, and they just fall into this trap because they're trying to do too much because they feel like they made this mistake. Stop them. Go up. Stop. Take a breather. We need to talk. I know I'm making a lot of mistakes. I'm not here about the mistakes. I'm here about you. You are falling into quicksand. I see it a lot with sports teams. Russell Westbrook is one of my favorite basketball players. But the motherfucker will fall into quicksand in an instant.
Yeah, he chucks the ball up there so many times.
His team would get down by, let's say, 13, and he would run down the court, pull up, 3-point, brick it, they'd go down, score. So now he's down by 15. So he'd come back, run up, brick it, the team would go back, now they're up by 17. He'd do this for a while until his coach would finally call timeout. And I was like, and I always was kind of thinking in my head, I'm like, stop. Go do what you do the best, which is going to the basket, getting fouled, and finishing through contact. You're going to get a 3-point play. Do it that way versus chucking up these 3 points that only take 5 seconds off the clock and give the other team more time to score. Stop. He's falling into the quicksand trap. He keeps trying. There's no 17-point shot in basketball. Stop. Do the small things. They'll take care of the big things. The big things will take care of the overall goal, and you'll be happy.
Right. Well, that leads exactly what you're saying, leads to the negative consequences of performance punishment. Overworking high performers can lead to burnout, which we discussed earlier, characterization by feelings of exhaustion, decreased productivity, and lack of motivation. It can also lead to a physical and mental health problems such as increased risk of heart disease and even depression. And I could see your scenario with Russell. Why can't I say his name? Russell Westbrook. Because he's lame now. No, they're treating him dirty, by the way. Anyway, I can see that with his exhaustion of keep running down there, trying to make it, him getting frustrated with not making it, and then it just feels like he's letting the team down, which in the scenario he kind of is. Where instead of taking that pause, and then you can kind of see, like in his interviews and stuff, I don't want to say depressed, but he doesn't have that same Russell Westbrook look as he does when he first starts the game.
Right. And meanwhile, his teammates are just sitting there trying to help out, or whether they are or not, and they're just sitting there going, well, Russ is going to just chuck this up. There's no point in me trying to do anything else, Yeah. And high performers got to be aware of that. If you're a high performer and you're trying to do everything for the team, stop. I bet more likely than not, your team has no idea what the hell they're supposed to do. And if you just asked them for help and you gave them specific direction, like a mini team leader, like your team lead is supposed to be doing, by the way, and you give them mini taskers to help you out, I bet you more often than not, they'll help you out. And they'll be like, oh, yeah, I was just waiting on somebody to tell me what to do because I had no idea what I needed to do. Motherfucker, I've been working late every day this week and you didn't think to fucking ask me? Now I just figured if you need help, you'd ask me. Bitch. So in order to prevent performance punishment and the negative consequences of overworking high performance, it's important for organizations to create a culture of work-life balance, set clear boundaries around work expectations. This is including setting limits on the number of hours that employees are expected to work, providing opportunities for flexible work arrangements, and encouraging employees to take time off and not be reached by the telephone. Don't call your employees when they're on vacation. I'll say it again for those in back. Don't call your employees when they're on vacation. Shit pisses me off. And I'm the guy, and I constantly say this. Hey, I have my phone on me. Call me if y'all need me. I am the worst. Call me if y'all need me. And every single time that people are, oh, no, man, you're on vacation. It's no big deal. 9 times out of 10, what happens on my vacation? I get a fucking phone call. Hey, I was just curious. Did you know? Blah, blah. I'm like, and then I get pissed off that they're calling me while I'm on vacation. Meanwhile,
they called me on vacation?
Yeah, right. After I told them to call me if they need anything. I can't believe those assholes would be so inconsiderate. Bitch. But it's important for managers to recognize and acknowledge the contribution of high performance. Make sure they get that award. Make sure they get that time off. Make sure they get that raise if you can. And provide support and resources to help them succeed. This may include providing training, development opportunities, and offering support for work-life balance and mental health. Hey, man, I noticed you've been going really hard. How about you take Friday off because we have nothing else going on and go be with your wife and kid? Hey, man, I noticed you're getting a little frustrated. We have an on-staff psychologist or psychiatrist or social worker or something that you can go talk to. Why don't you go talk to them? See if they can, you could just unload. Oh, no, boss, I'm good. I don't really need to. No. I go insist. Just go talk to them and see if it makes you feel better. If you don't feel better, you did it once. At my request, you don't have to do it again. All right, boss, if that's what you think. Next thing you know, they got a standing weekly appointment.
As you were saying, if there's if there's a psychiatrist or someone you can speak to in your workplace, that's great. But please understand that as a worker, you can say no. This may be somewhat difficult, especially if you're at the beginning of your career, but remember, you have to show your worth. So you may make your work look effortless, and you want to give transparency in your time and investment. This indicates a clear vision of your value to the company, project, task, or whatever's going on, so your boss can see that you actually are providing your value to the team. So you have the right to say no.
If your boss asks you to do an additional project, you need to clearly communicate the accommodations you will need to make that happen. For instance, rather than saying no outright, let your boss know that you can't get to the new item immediately, but that you can address it in the future. Hey, I can't, for example, hey, boss, I understand you need this. I can't get to that right now. I'm working, it's 3 other projects that are taking up my entire time. I can get to that in 2 weeks once a couple of these projects finish up. Is that going to be okay for you?
Oh, no, it's not. No. Yeah, I'm going to give that to Johnny. I need this kind of done a little faster. Yeah, you keep working on it. Yeah.
and just let them know, hey, these are the projects that I'm working on, and I feel like they take a little bit more priority, but if you're telling me that they don't, I can move one of these projects down and put this one up top, but just realize that I'm not going to work on this project while I'm working on these other ones. I don't have the bandwidth. All right, sounds good. Okay, cool. You position a trade-off. You could take on the new project, but you set aside the other one. Hey, consider, hey, Johnny's working on just one project. That motherfucker ain't done shit all week. Can I bring his ass in to work on this project with me? Yeah, absolutely. Task whoever you need. Done.
Sounds like that. It's nice to bask in that glory of, I can make it happen. I'm getting it done. But I mean, you need to help yourself by helping others, by suggesting that, hey, Johnny may not be as good at the task, but I'll gladly work with him to get him trained up, help coach him on making this happen. So not only will I just be the only go-to guy for this project, Johnny is going to step up too, because I'm going to make sure that he's almost on the same level as me. Yeah, I'm great, but I want Johnny to be able to do it also. And it's providing recognition not only to you as a team that you're spreading the wealth amongst the group, but it also shows that you have the responsibility and the know-how to pull your team with you.
Yeah, it almost shows that leadership kind of role without having that role. So then your boss is like, oh yeah, you make a good team leader. All right, cool. And then he walks away and you don't think anything of it, but 6 months down the road, he goes, hey, I got a team leader position open. You want it? Absolutely. All right. Why did you consider me? Oh, well, you showed a lot of leadership potential when I had you do all these projects. All right, boss, got it. The other thing is too, and this is kind of a little bit off subject. Well, not really, but sometimes these high performers can be they can be ostracized by the team for being a brown nose or a suck up or whatever. So if you start giving the tasks out to everybody else, you're showing them, hey, look, guys, I just get tasked with this stuff. I'm trying to spread the wealth so we can all succeed together, but y'all ain't helping me out.
I could see that. Fucking apple polisher.
Hey, it happened to me within 6 months of me starting to work underneath you. I don't know if you remember that.
I do. I do. Well, Austin thinks he's all that. Is he? Does he?
Yeah, I had to. My boss literally pulled me aside. Hey, do you think you're better than them? No, I just do work. I don't tell them that I'm better than anything. I'm just here to do work. What? You give me tasks, I complete tasks. What else do you want me to do? I'm not here. I'm not sitting there going, you guys fucking suck. I'm so much better than you. I'm just here to do work.
Your boss came to me, past you, and was like, get work done. I got work done. Now I'm getting talked to by you.
Yeah. What do you want from me? Something that may help is prioritize some work that you care about. Hey, if you're passionate about a project, get on that project. You're gonna not feel, if you're, the old saying goes, if you love your work, you're never gonna work a day in your life. It's the truth. If you're happy and you're passionate about that project, you're gonna do a great job without even realizing that you're doing a great job. You can handle performance punishment is to get ahead of the initiatives that your boss is assigning by taking on responsibilities that are meaningful to you. Sometimes performance punishment tasks are frustrating because they feel like they're not within your own control. But if you stay in touch with the people throughout your organization and stay attuned to the high priority efforts, you can raise your hand to contribute to something that holds your interest. Hey, you can kind of control what tasks you get given. Hey, I don't really like doing reports, but I love doing this. I love doing the spreadsheets for this. I'll take on their spreadsheets if Johnny could do the reports. Done. Got it, boss. Check with your leader and make sure that you have their support, and of course then fill your plate with things that are your own choices. This way you have no room for assignments that may be of less interest to you. Hey, if your boss already sees it, you have a bunch of high priority projects that you like doing, he's not going to task you with meaningless bullshit for somebody else.
I 100% used that when I was younger and started my career. There were certain things I knew I wanted more training on. There were certain things I wanted to learn. And yes, I would raise my hand for a lot of those. I will put a lot on my plate. But what I put on the plate is the stuff I know I like. I love carrots. Put that right there. Peas too. Yum, yum, yum. I kept piling my plate up with stuff that I was interested in, that I wanted to do. And yeah, that helped groom me. I grew. I became a high performer, and the tasks that I was learning just helped me excel more and more in the career field that I was in at that time. And I don't know if my bosses saw that or not. You know what? I really didn't care because it was a task I wanted to do. I selected the task, and it also helped the team out and as a whole project. So I love that I was able to fill my plate up as a younger in my career at that time. It was great. Of course, in my younger time, I had no idea of this performance punishment. I had no idea of leadership. I have no anything. I just was like, hey, that sounds cool. I want to do that thing. That's going to lead me to do other great things. And that's where how I started.
Yeah, no, I was the same way. I'm sure you remember I was focused on a particular task when I was working for you. And the reason I was focused on that particular task was because I saw it in my mind because I had to have somebody else come and inspect my work immediately before I could do anything else. And I was like, if I could get good at this particular task, which is one of the more trickier tasks in my mind, I can easily do anything else you give to me. This is probably one of the most difficult tasks on this entire project. And if I can get this task down, everything else is cake. And I think I went to that task more than anything else because nobody else wanted to do it because it was tricky. And I was more than willing to put my put my 2 cents in on it and get it done.
I think I remember that because I think I asked you, be like, hey, this motherfucker can't get it. Austin, come do this.
Yeah. Yep. That's exactly what happened, and that's when it started. I think he thinks he's better than me. Yeah. Be open with your leader about your passions, interests, overall strengths, how you want to develop. Be clear about what skills you believe you possess and those you want to build. If your leader's trying to reward you for great effort and give you growth opportunities, this is the information that they're going to need to give guidance in their assignments that are best for you as well as for the organization. The benefits of having a strong performer often outweigh the drawbacks. Or being a strong performer often outweigh the drawbacks. Doing great work is one of the best things you can do in your career. Obviously, it helps you get high, climb that ladder if you're smart about it.
Right.
In the meantime, fine-tune your time management, communication, and prioritization skills. Make sure the projects you are assigned are more fulfilling rather than punishing. Everybody has to take out the trash. Everybody has to do those shit jobs that nobody wants to do. Got it. That sucks. Happens to the best of us. But if you have more good than bad, you're going to be happy.
I would think almost any career, any job has a rite of passage.
Oh, yeah.
Like you got to be a rookie at some point in time. Hey, rookie, you got to carry everyone bags. That's just what you do. I'm a 15-year vet. You're going to carry my bag, rookie. I remember hearing like Allen Iverson talk about it. I remember hearing like all the greats when they came in as a rookie.
Magic Johnson talks about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar treating him as a rookie.
Yeah, what was it? Orange juice on a newspaper or something every morning?
Yeah, orange juice in the newspaper and everything else.
So there is a rite of passage to it. The main key to performance punishment is, as we were saying, have strong communication. It's all right to take extra on your plate. It's just when it's extra on your plate every single time, every single week, every single project, that's when the burnout, the resentment, and everything comes into play. And you probably agree with me on this because I see we're getting a little long in time. Maybe we can pick this up on a sidebar.
100%. This is a topic I think we're both passionate about because it's happened to us both. I'm happy to pick this up on a sidebar and keep going with it because there's so much more that we have to talk about. I think we made it through maybe half of the show notes that we were talking about, that we wanted to talk about, but we're getting so long in time that we can't keep going. And I'm sure our listeners are going, Jesus, wrap it up, people. Come on.
We get it. I'm just saying now, before we go to our final third, we picked this up in a sidebar. I'm not looking at show notes.
Nope, agreed. Agreed. That's all speaking from experience and opinions, baby.
With that,
final third.
Your experience. Final third? Okay.
Oh, my experience. What are you gonna say? My experience? What?
Your experience with the final third. You kind of blew up my segue, but that's fine.
I'm happy to fuck it up, man. High performer. I passed that buck.
Boom. All right. From the top, let it drop. Final third.
Cedar mixed with almost like a truffle-y note on the back end.
So you said truffle-y. I agree with you on the cedar. I'm not going to argue. Which I'm not mad about. I'm not a big
truffle or earth, something like that.
Earth. I'm going straight earth. Cedar and earth are my two main components here.
Yeah, I couldn't put my finger on the earth note. I almost feel like it's truffle, but it's not quite truffle.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with earth because I can't pinpoint it.
No, I agree.
The nuttiness is background. It has yet to go away. I got that nuttiness, but earth. I would say actually my earth is over the cedar.
So if I had to rank this, I would say earth, truffle, or earth, cedar, and nutty. The nut may be what's throwing me off, and I'm taking the earth and the nut and saying truffle. That may be what's throwing me off.
All right. So that leads to the next question, sir. Which I already know the answer.
You know the answer to this. You know the answer to this.
Single 5-packer box.
Box.
All day long.
All day long. This is one of my, by far, it's one of my favorite cigars by American Viking. Probably one of my favorite cigars of all time. It's so good. It's so consistent. My burn has been phenomenal the entire time. Draw's been great. It's stayed lit. Even with me talking as much as I have been. I have zero construction issues. It's so good. I love this cigar from American Viking. The flavor notes are just phenomenal. It pairs well with dang near anything.
That's true.
In my personal opinion. It's just a cigar that I can't go wrong with. And I did buy a box of these. And that's what I sent you, a couple of these with out of the box, because I was like, man, Dice has got to smoke some of these. Because I've given you, I think we had a Corona the first time.
Yeah. Yes.
And this is the Toro size. And it's just so good. But I assume you agree with me with the box.
I do agree 100%. It's definitely box worthy. It is 100% your go-to cigar. 100%. I wish it was readily available in the brick and mortar. I'm not a huge online orderer. I will order online. No disrespect to all these online, but I'm a brick and mortar guy more. But it is a great cigar. It paired well with Hennessy. I have other cigars that pair perfect with Hennessy, but this actually, you know what? It probably paired better with a regular VS instead of VSOP.
It might be. You got another one, right?
I do, sir.
Let's give it a shot, my brother.
I 100% will.
And with that, I've been Austin.
And I'm going to stay Dice.
And you've been listening to Leadership of the Leaf. And I hope you guys learned something. And remember, great leaders smoke great cigars.
That's it, baby.
We'll catch you guys on the next one.
Thank you for listening to Leadership of the Leaf. The comments and opinions expressed by the host and guests does not reflect the opinions of those that broadcast this show, nor does it reflect any of our affiliates.